Hi, my name is Petra Lewis and I specialize in pregnancy and postnatal fitness and pelvic floor health. I teach pregnancy and postnatal Pilates as well as outdoor fitness classes for moms with babies. I have created 5 videos addressing the issues regarding pelvic floor and diastasis recti during pregnancy and postnatal stage. I'm also teaching you how to correctly engage your pelvic floor muscles, how to restore your core, and how to integrate pelvic floor and core work into the exercises and fitness routine. I will show you one exercise with 3 different levels of progression to indicate your inner core strength. I strongly recommend you watch all 5 videos to get complete understanding of everything. Diastasis recti. It's a separation between 2 abdominal walls which happens during pregnancy. The linea alba running through the midline of the abdomen stretches out to create a space for the growing baby. Linea alba is a fibrous structure made of collagen and elastin. The reason why I'm mentioning collagen here, because it's important to know when you are trying to close the gap, restore your core and heal damaged muscles and tissues in your pelvic floor, you need to include collagen in your diet, whether you are drinking bone broth or taking collagen supplements. Also have plenty of protein and stay hydrated. Most moms after having a first baby will end up with 2 or less centimeters gap. This sort of gap will heal naturally in a postnatal stage. I do see bigger gaps as well, like 3 to 4 centimeters, sometimes more. Especially if mom is tiny and had a big baby, multiple pregnancies, or just having a second baby. Many moms after the first pregnancy are too busy looking after the baby and working a lot and not paying any attention to restore their core. Then they get pregnant again, and because their core muscles are too loose and usually baby is bigger as well, they end up with larger diastasis second time around. If you have got a big gap, you need to close it to at least 2 centimeters and create tension in your abdominal wall. If your gap is already 2 or less centimeters, you still need to restore your core before you start considering moving on to more core advanced exercises like crunches and planks. How do you close the gap and restore your core? You need to rebuild the strength in your transverse abdominis and pelvic floor muscles. Transverse abdominis, it's a muscle creating a core set underneath of your rectus abdominis where your separation is. Transverse abdominis and pelvic floor muscles are part of your inner core, working in unison with a deep abdominal breathing. You can only exercise these muscles on a low level of intensity for a long period of time. What does that mean? You need to pick simple core moves, do them very slowly, combining them with a correct breathing technique. If you are pregnant, you will only benefit from continuing to strengthen your inner core muscles during pregnancy to have a faster recovery after you've had a baby. And this is why I teach crunchless core in my pregnancy and postnatal Pilates, focusing on strengthening inner core muscles as well as relaxing them without doing a single crunch, especially in my pregnancy Pilates, where relaxation of pelvic floor is important to stretch and lengthen the muscles and prepare for the birth. After you've had a baby, you should find out if you've got a gap and how big the gap is. You can ask your health professional to check for you, or you can do it yourself. I am now going to show you how you can do it. If you are pregnant or just had a baby, you should always come down to the floor from the side. Place one hand below your head, inhale, and on the exhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Test with 2 fingers in top part of your abdomen. Lower down, inhale, exhale, lift. This time you need to test 2 fingers above belly button. Lower, inhale, exhale, lift. Finally, you can test 2 fingers below your belly button. Most gaps will be around your belly button. The reason why we are coming up 3 times separately, because every time you lift your head off the floor, you increase intra-abdominal pressure, causing issues for diastasis or any prolapse. And this is why in pregnancy and postnatal recovery, we don't do any crunches. When you are finished, you can roll back to the side and slowly come back up. Here we have images of pelvic floor muscles, diastasis recti, outer core, deep core, also known as inner core, and deep abdominal breathing. You can see there are many different layers of pelvic floor muscles creating support for your pelvic organs. And this is why it's so important to maintain this area strong and healthy to keep everything in place. Notice pelvic floor muscles attach at the front to the pubic bone, at the back to the coccyx, and on the sides to the sit bones. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because in my classes I will instruct you. Take a deep inhale and on the exhale think about coccyx coming to pubis or north to south, lifting pelvic floor muscles in and up and engaging in a core. Or I will say, take an inhale and on the exhale draw your sit bones or west to east, tightening up pelvic floor muscles and connecting with inner core. Moving on to diastasis recti, you can see healthy abdominal wall with a small linear alba running through midline of the abdomen, and diastasis recti, the linear alba stretches out especially around the navel, separating 2 abdominal walls. In order for you to understand how you can close the gap, restore your core and prevent back issues, you need to know the difference between the outer core and deep core. Here you can see pictures of outer core and deep core. Your outer core muscles are made of rectus abdominis or six-pack and obliques. These muscles will provide you with flexion, extension and protect your deep core. Because they are not attached to the spine, they cannot support it. It is your deep core muscles attached to the spine, therefore they can provide support for your spine and prevent, resolve or improve back issues. You need to strengthen these muscles when you are looking to close the gap and restore your core. There are 4 different muscles creating inner core. Pelvic floor muscles attach at the front to pubic bone and at the back to coccyx, multifidus and connective muscles and tissues on your back, diaphragm on the top and transverse abdominis, starting from the spine, wrapping around your abdomen, coming back to the spine, creating a core set to protect your internal organs. Moving on to this active image of core activation, where you can see all 4 inner core muscles working in unison with deep abdominal breathing because they are all connected. Diaphragm starting from the spine, attaching at the front to transverse abdominis. Transverse abdominis is connected to pelvic floor muscles, and pelvic floor muscles join onto the back muscles. As you inhale, diaphragm will descend. It will relax transverse abdominis, pelvic floor muscles and back muscles. As you exhale, diaphragm will elevate, contracting transverse abdominis, engaging pelvic floor muscles and tightening up your back muscles. Now you know more about diastasis recti, how to close the gap and restore your core. Check out my online 6 weeks Core Restore program, after which you will be able to move safely onto more core advanced exercises. I apply all principles of Core Restore I talk about in these videos into all 3 classes I offer every week during this program. In Core Restore session, we are concentrating on strengthening inner core with safe core exercises, engaging and relaxing pelvic floor muscles. After the first session, where I explain the technique in detail, I will connect with you individually online to check if you are doing it correctly and answer any questions you have. You will also get a small homework learning to incorporate it into everyday life, as well as 2 core exercises to practice each day. In closed Facebook group, you can access homework videos, miss classes, and ask any question. I will also be checking your progress on a regular basis. In Pilates class, we will be integrating inner core and pelvic floor into Pilates exercises. We will also be strengthening back muscles to improve posture, as many moms end up with round and tired back from looking after the baby, feeding the baby, carrying it, or changing nappies. Also focusing on releasing tightness around neck and shoulders, as well as toning up the rest of the body. In the fitness class, all exercises are low impact with cardio aspect included to improve blood flow in damaged muscles and tissues, helping with healing process. Focusing on leg strengthening exercises, doing functional moves for every mom to benefit from. Using small weights or water bottles and resistance band to increase pelvic floor and inner core work in the exercises, as well as building up muscle tone.